Now, our shopping cart experience will flow like this. You're gonna have the list of products. Besides each product, you're gonna have an add to cart button. When we click on add to cart, we're gonna be redirected to a cart summary with that product added to it and a subtotal at the bottom. Then you can go to checkout. We're not gonna be implementing this right away, but again, you can go to checkout, or you can continue shopping and then you go back to where you were before. It might be the full list of products, it might be the list of products filtered by a particular category, but that's the basic flow of what we're going to be implementing in our shopping cart next. So we're going to be starting by defining our cart module that will store the information of the selected products. So let's go back to our code. We're going to go back to our models and we're going to create initially a new class that I'm going to call it cart line. Cart line is one single item that will be added to the cart, which is a collection of items. So cart line is the first class. Now it will have three simple properties. It will have an ID, it will have the product that was selected, and the quantity. So we have three simple properties: cart line ID with auto properties. We have the product that was selected, which is a product, and then we have quantity. So if I click once, I have one. If I click there again, I have two of that product. So this is what I'm calling our cart line. Now I'm going to create a second model here that I'm going to call a cart. This is where we're going to store the entire collection of cart lines that the user might be adding to their cart. So I'm just going to call this cart, and we're going to start by creating a private property that will store a list of cart lines. So we have our cart line here, and cart will store a list of the lines, because in the same cart we can have multiple products. So we have a private here, and we create the cart line list right away. Now we're going to have a few methods on this cart. You're going to have to be able to add an item and to remove an item. So let's start right there. So let's start with the add item. I'm going to create a public void method called add item, which will receive the product and the quantity. So I'm just gonna create it like that for now, and we're gonna fill it up in a second. And I'm gonna create another one which will remove an item. So it's a void as well, and here we're gonna be removing an item. Now let's do the full implementation of those methods. So keep in mind that this list here will be a memory list. So what I'm going to start doing when I try to add an item, I have to find out if in the line collection, if there is already that product there. Because if it's there already, I don't need to add it again. I just need to add +1 to the quantity of that item. So again, this first line here is just trying to get whether or not the item already, the product already exists in the line collection. So I'm gonna query the line collection. I'm gonna say, give me the item where P goes to P.product ID equals to product, which is being sent via parameter, dot product ID. So I'm asking that give me the product, if there is one there already, that has the same ID as the product that I'm adding, that I'm trying to add. Because again, if it's already there, I don't need to add it again. I just need to increase the quantity by 1. So we're gonna do this, and then just to make sure, we're gonna get the first or default here. Again, first it gets the first one. If it doesn't find the item, it returns the default one. It returns a new line, a new cart line item. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna test. You're gonna test here if line equals to null. If it didn't return anything, then we know that we need to add to the collection. So you're gonna do a line collection dot add, and you're gonna add what? You're gonna add a new cart line. Where the product is product, which is being passed via the parameter, and the quantity is equals to quantity that comes from the parameter as well. And we close it here. So in case no line has been found in the collection yet, that's what we do. We add a new one. Now, if it finds one, what we do is we just get that line. So line.quantity, and we add what? We add one. We don't add one. We add the quantity that is being added here, which, by the way, it will be one because we are adding one item at a time here. We are not asking for quantity, but in any case, if it doesn't find, add a new item, a new cart line with the quantity and the product. If it finds, great, the product is already there, so we just have to add to the quantity. Now, keep in mind that we are just storing the line collection in memory. Every time that we stop the application, the memory is gone, and this list is completely gone as well. So we're not storing the selected cart items in the database, but in memory only. So for the remove line, we are asking for the product to be removed. So we're gonna do something very simple. We're gonna be using Lambda syntax here. We're gonna just do line collection dot remove all, and then we're gonna do a matching here. All L where goes to L dot product ID. So we're gonna remove all products where the product ID match the product that is coming in, the product ID that is coming in. So again, we are removing from the line collection all cart lines where the product ID matches the product ID of the product being sent as a parameter here. Okay, so again, very simple one. We can just use the Lambda syntax. We don't need to do all of this. Okay, so get used to Lambda syntax here. I'm also getting myself used to it. So let's break this down to make it more readable. So that's the remove and that's the add. We're gonna be adding 3 more methods to this class, to this model. We're gonna be adding a way to get the total value of all products in the cart. So we're gonna create a public method called compute total value, which will get the total value of price for the product times quantity and sum them up. So we're gonna use Lambda syntax again here. We're gonna go to our collection, our line collection. We're gonna sum what? Well, sum each cart line, and we're gonna get the price of the product and multiply by the quantity of that product. And in the end, we're gonna sum this up. So again, compute total value will bring the total price times quantity of the entire cart. That's the first one. The second one, we're gonna have a clear method. A clear method will clean up, will remove all items from the shopping carts. So we're gonna just call, use a bit of Lambda syntax here. We're gonna call line collection dot clear. This will clear all items from the shopping cart. And last but not least, we have to have a way to return all lines from the shopping cart, because remember, this is storing the lines, but it's private. It's not visible from the outside. So we have to have a way to return all items, all cart line items. So we're gonna have a public enumerable cart line, which we're gonna just call it lines, and it will return the line collection. Next step, we're gonna be adding the add to carts buttons.